Chicago Cubs. Brandon sneaks in behind Jeanette.
Hey guys, Jeremy from Catching IQ. Today we're going over the second part of how to improve our pop time, and we're going to talk a little bit about improving our throwing velocity. So I brought you into the classroom today. We're going to look at some of the stuff up on the whiteboard and look at some of the science behind throwing harder and what you need to do to increase your throwing velocity. Before we get into that, guys, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Check out some of our other videos on our channel. Leave a comment below with any questions you have, and let's get started. All right, guys, so one of the first things we want to talk about with improving our throwing velocity, or you can consider it just improving our arm strength, is the power equation. Okay, so the first thing that we have right here is the power equation. Okay, that's force times velocity. Okay, so force is how strong we are, and that's something that we're going to improve by going to the gym. We aren't going to get stronger by just throwing more or throwing more long toss. Okay, long toss isn't bad, but it's not really the key to improving your throwing velocity. Okay, getting stronger is what's going to improve your power and your arm strength. The second part of that equation is velocity. That's another thing that we can improve by going to the gym and doing some other exercises that are related to throwing. Okay, so that is going to take us into the next thing I want to talk about, which is the strength speed continuum. I spent a little time as a personal trainer working with baseball players in the gym, and one of my favorite people to follow is Eric Cressy. And this is something that I learned from watching him, and I want to show it to you guys because it's really key for our baseball development and how we can get stronger and throw harder. So if we look at the strength speed continuum, on this side over here we have what would be our max strength. So if we look at it in terms of development, this is going to be where we're in the gym, we're doing our deadlifts, our squats, working out with weights and putting on some heavy weights to get stronger. So as we get more developed in our strength and conditioning, this should be where we're doing our 3 to 5 rep range. Okay, so this is a pretty heavy exercise that we want to get into when we're in the gym. Keep going across towards speed. We got our strength speed exercises. This is where I would use med balls in our training. Okay, we can use heavy med balls to do a lot of our rotational exercises. Baseball is a rotational sport, so we don't want to just be picking things up and off the ground that are just straight. Okay, med ball exercises are going to be super important for improving our throwing velocity because throwing is a rotational action. If we keep going, we got speed strength exercises. So the emphasis is on speed, but there's also some resistance behind it. Okay, so this is where a lot of guys use weighted balls. Okay, and I know weighted balls are becoming more and more popular to improve throwing velocity. If you're new to weighted baseballs, don't just do your weighted baseball routine and then go into throwing normal baseballs right after, because you're going to increase the pressure that you're putting on your throwing arm. Okay, so be careful with the weighted baseballs. Make sure you find somebody that knows how to put a program together for you to follow. So that takes us over to our max speed, which is typically just what we're going to do in a normal practice. It's going to be all of our throwing, all of the drills that we do where we're throwing. Our arm is moving at 100% of its max speed. Okay, so max effort speed on this side of the equation. If we're going to look at how to develop a young thrower quickly, we want to go to this part of the equation first, max strength. Because most young players haven't developed strength yet. If we put them into a weight training program, that's where they're going to see this improve the most. Their power is going to improve the most because they're working on their weaker part in the equation. Okay, we get a lot of velocity work in our practice. Our max speed throws are on this part of the equation. Okay, so if you want to improve your throwing velocity, focus more on improving your force production by getting in the weight room and throwing around some med balls. Those two things are really going to help your throwing velocity. So if you take a look at the last video that we did about improving your release time, okay, if we can improve our release time and then improve our throwing velocity, that's going to dramatically lower our pop time, and we're going to throw a lot more runners out. Okay, so when we look at the mechanics side of things, that's going to be where we improve our release time. And then when we look at the velocity and arm strength, we're going to improve that by getting in the gym and getting stronger. Don't just commit to a long toss program, okay? Get in the gym and get stronger, because that's how you're going to improve the throwing velocity. So guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to check out our first video, I'll put a link in the description below. Check that one out. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment below or send us an email, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can to help you improve your pop time and improve any other aspects of your game that you're wanting to get better at. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.